Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Hey there, folks. It's Brian from Tokyo Record Style. I am inbound to work and haven't fired up the old 360 camera in a while, so I thought I would fire it up this morning. I've been doing daily live streams to members only posse, and because I had a special meeting this morning, I couldn't do my normal members live stream, so I'm doing the 360 camera here. Now, a couple of things to note. First of all, I'm just driving and talking. I don't have a monitor to look at, except to see that my phone's in like the right orientation. But no comments come up. So unfortunately, I can't engage with the comments. Well, not unfortunately, fortunately, because it would be sort of silly to engage with them while you're driving. But so I can't see any comments, but you're most welcome to leave them, and I will check them out on the replay. I assume you can hear me okay. There's no way to confirm whether you can or you can't, but I hope you can. I'm always a little surprised how well the audio does in the wind and on the bike. It seems to come through pretty clear. The connectivity is not brilliant, but it's not bad. And so hopefully you can see it. Now the other thing about the 360 camera is that the way that I've got it going is so that you can orient the angle of the perspective however you want to. You can move your mouse or move your finger on the screen, and you can change the orientation of the camera as you like. So if you want to look at me, you can look at me. If you want to turn and look to the left or look to the right or look up or down, you can. So that's kind of a cool feature of this. I think there's a way you can set it so that I can control what you see, but I think this is more fun. But again, it's a lot of bits coming through, so the stream may duck out here and there, the audio may duck out here and there, and yeah. So the last thing to mention is that this bike that I'm on right now is on its very, very, very last leg. I've been saying it's on its last leg for 2 years, but it's really, really on its last leg. And if you hear the clutch or the motor or if you're watching the riding style here, these slow takeoffs and whatnot, it's because my bike is just, it should not be, it's not, I mean, it really should be retired. The clutch is going. The motor's going, but the motor refuses to die. It's pinging all over the place, and the garages tell me you're better off to just buy a new $200 motor, $300 motor, and try your luck and see how it goes. But your engine there's no sense in rebuilding the top end or the bottom end. There's no more parts. Just drive it till it dies, which I find a little bit frustrating. But now the clutch is going, and now the motor is stronger than the clutch. So, but if I take off really, really slow and go really slowly through the gears, I can extend this baby's life just a little teeny bit further. I really do need to take it apart, but the other thing is that I actually have 2 other motorcycles that are not exactly rideable at the moment because they're with the fabric. One's in the States. which I ought to bring over here. But yeah, I should do that. I should really get it over here. Or I should sell it. It's a pretty rare bike. And then I have another bike here that's with a fabricator, and it won't be finished until later this year. I'm not sure when yet. So I don't really want to dump a whole lot of money into this thing because there's another bike right around the corner. Although if I find the right parts and the right affordable engine, maybe I'll buy a new engine on it. Although any engine that I buy off for this bike will be off of a you know, either totaled bike like it or one that has, you know, 50,000. This one has on it. In fact, this one probably 6. Like this. This is not a little bike, but it's not a big bike. 250 Club, man. Again, doing my daily morning stream just for fun. I usually do this from the car, but my crew's got to get their self to school today because I have an early morning meeting. And I'm driving the motorcycle to work. I ride the motorcycle to work every day, but it's not really obviously conducive of a live stream, except every once in a while. So, and plus this bike, it's a little bit embarrassing. I have to just like, you have to really finesse it to get it to do what you want it to do. It's all about the, oh shit, I need gasoline. I just remembered that. And finally, I actually don't even know where I'm going. I know the general area, and I hope I can just find the place I'm going. But it's a new part of town, a new kind of developed area. I should be able to navigate my way there, but it's right in the heart of the city, and it was like the building only opened a year ago, and it's a big giant building. And I won't be able to take you in with me, sadly, but you'll be able to join me on the way down there. So again, Tokyo Record Style streaming from Koshukaido, Route 20, west of Shinjuku, east of Shimokitazawa, and headed towards Toranomon with running on fumes, running on vapor fumes. And I'm using the what's it called? Insta360 X5, which is a cool 360 camera. And the thing about it is when you're live streaming from this device, you can't engage with the comments. So you can leave a comment and you can leave a chat, but I can't see any of them. Also, you can move and orient the screen however you want to. So you can move this screen around and make it so you can see me. If I don't know what happens. You can either see me on the bike, or you can see any view you want. You just move it around. So I've been watching everybody's record store day videos. It's kind of fun. Everybody seems to have made a record store video, which is great. Everybody had a lot of fun. I got bit by the bug. I listened to a lot of records yesterday. Well, I streamed a couple of records because what I have going right now is I do have this members only place where we all have access to a shared Discord server. And on the Discord server, we have, my hair is going to get all tangled up. Let me throw my hair is going to get all tangled up. And it's going to look like a mess by the time I get there. It always looks like a mess, but it needs to look a little bit okay. Just shove it up in there. What was I saying? Oh, so we have this really cool members only Discord. Why is it members only? Because I don't want the riffraff in there. And I want to steer the ship a little bit. And yeah, it's pretty cool. It's very active, and one of the cool things about it is we have these weekly, I should say bi-weekly top five record prompts. And on the top 5 record prompts, what we do is we make up themes. Everybody kind of contributes to a theme list, and then we schedule out these themes. And every 2 weeks there's a new theme. And this week's theme is sophomore albums, the dreaded sophomore suite. And what we do is we all put our top 5 records from our collections forward, and we list up the band. You can choose a band or an album or an artist. You can get creative about how you want to answer the prompts, and we each answer either with songs or with albums or with artists or some interesting combo. And then we also maybe write up a little blip about why this record is kind of important to us, how we maybe came to know it, or how we, just put in some context towards the theme. And then we put a link to a way to listen to the album. So then that happens in the first week. We all answer the prompt with our top 5 records and our little write-ups and our little links. And some people write kind of in-depth bits, in-depth, what am I trying to say? I want to say excerpts, but they're not excerpts from anything. And write-ups, they just write short little write-ups. Oh, everybody's bike is Genki, is doing well except for mine. Okay, I'm going to stop and get gas here. Onegaishimasu. おはようございます。満タンしてください。レギュラー。レギュラーはい。お支払いはどうですか？カードでしょうか？カードお願いします。はい。お願いします。はい。So I'm still talking, I guess. Am I coming through? It looks like I'm coming through. Okay. So, getting gas here at the Cosmo station. This is full service. They fill your tank up for you. And anyway, back to the Discord. So, in the first week, we all answer the prompt, and this week's prompt, as I mentioned, is sophomore albums. And then for the second week, we go listen to them. And so for the last 3 days, I've been listening to the various records that people have put forth. So I listened to some Tinder Sticks, and some Nick Cave, and some, what else? Judas Priest, actually, and some Tribe. And yeah, I'm just kind of working through the various people's suggestions. So it's a pretty fun way to discover music, and people say the most, kind of meaningful stuff. One record I haven't started listening to yet, but it was put forth by my friend Zed Zuko, and who said that when he went looking for sort of a journey of discovery, trying to find the roots of ambient and industrial music, he came across like one of the earliest krautrock records that's kind of obscure, and he put forth that. I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm very excited to listen to that. So if you're at all curious to get involved, you just can either join the Tokyo Record Style YouTube members thing. There's a $2 tier, I think, a $5 tier, a $7 tier, a $12, something like that. Arigatou gozaimasu. And arigatou gozaimasu. Arigatou gozaimasu. Oh, I left the lights on. Whoops. Oh, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. I just turned them on. All right, off we go again. Let this guy go. So yeah, if you want to, that's one way you can join the Discord. You basically, the members, YouTube members only thing gets you access to the daily live streams, and which I just kind of ramble on. I can't really say that they're all that valuable, but the Discord definitely is. And even if the live streams aren't valuable, goddamn, I'm working on them. I've done 4 straight months of daily live streams, so you got to give me some kudos just for filling some dead air. And but the Discord's really groovy, and everybody who puts forth 5 records, I take those lists that they write up and I list them on my website with links to the album. So it's kind of a cool way for everybody to get their list like published in a public space, and it's a cool archive to build. And I think moving forward, we're going to try to do something like have a monthly chit chat with one of the members online and talk about the Discord or talk about one of the top 5 lists, and yeah, have a monthly or bi-weekly kind of interview with people, or just, hang out, I guess. I'm not really totally sure. So that's been my music listening for the last 2 days. I've been working on photo editing at my desk, and I've really been wrestling with my computer. I have a very old Intel MacBook that was my main machine for a lot. All my computers are dying. I have about 5 Macs. I have 2, I think I have 3, I have 2 Mac Pros. I think they're both Intels, but they're both top of the line. But they're 6-7 years old now, if not a lot older. Intel, that's like, yeah, they're like 7 years old. It's the one that has the what was that called? The touch bar. I have the touch bars. And like the day I bought it, they like announced, oh, new Apple Silicon. I'm like, oh, great. Just spent $3,000 on a computer. But then I bought a couple of Mac Airs, or I should say I kind of inherited a couple of M1 Mac Airs that are strong and good still. They're a few years younger, maybe 4 years old, but the problem is that neither of them have any fucking disk space. They're all like max, they've got 250 gigs of memory on them, that's all, of hard drive. And I don't know whose brilliant idea it was to put that little bit of hard drive on them, but I'm constantly wrestling with getting stuff off of there and on there, and it's not about you know, I can easily keep all my data on the clouds and on, you know, external hard disks, but just with Photoshop and Illustrator and libraries and, you know, reference files and just all the apps and like docs and things that I use, 250 gigs goes away real quick. I gotta start off the line so slow here. Okay. So there's some people campaigning to my left here who they're running for office or something. How should I get to this place? I don't even really know where I'm going. I just know the general direction I have to go to get there. I think I'll go this way. Although this is going to be painful on my bike because it's uphill. And the clutch situation doesn't really like the uphill situation. You gotta just like gingerly get it into second as smoothly as you can so the clutch doesn't just clack, 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 clack. Can you hear it? There, it did it twice. Ooh, 3 times. It's like trying to pop out of gear. I'm missing some teeth, I think. There's like broken teeth, broken clutch parts inside my motor. It's awful. It's like, I don't even want to think about it. It's like broken teeth. So this big hill is not going to be fun. So if I can get a running start, it's not bad. But I got to start from 0. It's not fun. Okay. Yeah, what have I talked about? Talked about the Discord. Saw lots of great Record Store Day videos. Whoops. Melinda Murphy just published one. I watched hers. It was real nice. She was commenting on how she was like number 4 or 3 or 4 or 5 in line, and the 2 or 3 people that were ahead of her were both young ladies, young women, which is pretty cool. And she kind of gave them a, come on baby, I can gun it, but the motor can handle it, but just the clutch can't, transmission can't. And the motor's tired too. But that was encouraging to hear that, you know, a lot of the young people were at the record store. I don't recall seeing a lot of young people in Japan at the record store. And my kids really have no interest in the records, although they're pretty young. And I meet some 20-something-year-olds, but I don't meet any. I meet young people from overseas, but Japanese people not all that often. I wonder what, like jazz, I wonder if it's the same as back home. Probably it is. But I think young Japanese artists, I don't know, CD is still a little bit king, and maybe streaming. Like maybe it's space and disposable income. I think those records that we call them J-Bucks. When I came to Japan, when I came to Japan, well, first of all, you should take a look over here to the right. There's the Olympic Gymnasium from 1964. Very beautiful. And there's the main gymnasium. I'm guessing it holds 10,000, maybe less. Not that big. And then the little stadium holds less, 5,000. And to my right is Yoyogi Park, where the rockabilly guys always are. And there's a whole bunch of dump trucks here that are probably waiting to pick up probably some buildings going up or coming down, and they're all just waiting here to load out all the debris and whatnot. What was I saying? Jazz, young people, records, disposable income. Not really sure. Lost my train of thought there. Come on, baby. This poor bike. She is really dying a slow, painful death. We're coming down right here. This is Harajuku. Harajuku Station is over there on the left. It was quite funny. There was this beautiful old European style train station at Harajuku. It was very charming. It was like the last of its kind on the big Yamanote loop. And when they announced that they were going to redo the station and build some modern thing, and they were going to take away this like old Dutch brick building, the whole city was kind of up in arms about it, saying, oh no, they're like, look, why do you guys always tear down your cultural assets? And so this is the sort of Champs-Élysées of Tokyo, Omotesando. This is the big Rodeo Drive. There's Ralph Lauren, Chanel, Dior, Fendi, Yves Saint Laurent, Omotesando Hills, Hermes, Louis Vuitton, and so on. Keep having these non sequitur transitions. I'm losing my train of thought. So anyway, Harajuku Station, they tore it down, the Apple Store. This Apple Store is special because they were building it has the biggest glass panels. Up until I think they built the big campus, it had these giant glass panels, and I don't think they had ever made glass. Like nobody had ever made glass this tall before. So Harajuku Station got torn down, and they built some modern glass and steel thing, and kind of ruined the vibe of the little area. It was a cool place where people would come. Harajuku, in this little area, it's known as like, behind all of these major, high fashion brands are all the like underground boutiques and sort of the up and coming boutique designers. And the people who come and hang out here, who are young people, they save and save and save, and they spend all of their earnings on a piece from, Massimo or Chanel or some Gucci, they spend, and then they get another piece from a smaller designer and another shoes from this place, and they hodgepodge a pretty interesting ensemble together. And then they go up to the station and they show it off, and they parade around the boulevards with their fashion. And it was really a cool culture. And sadly, it's just kind of, fast fashion has sort of ruined it, and you still see the pieces out there. I saw one of somebody who I'm a big fan of, Christopher Nemeth. I saw somebody wearing a piece of his the other day. I thought, oh, there's Nemeth. And she was like, oh, you know Nemeth? And I was like, oh, I love him. Kind of a punk rock fashion designer. And after they tore down the old wooden brick Dutch station and they built this big glass thing, Like 5 years later, the city announced that they had stored the old wooden building from forever ago, and it was like going to be rebuilt somehow inside the big glass and steel thing. So that's Tokyo for you. I know that in my little neighborhood, there was this big talk of a train coming through there for years, and it was going to happen, and it was definitely going to happen. It was going to happen next year, and then it never happened. And it just never happened. Okay, now I'm getting a little bit lost because I'm not totally sure where I'm going. I know where I am, but I have to go south from here. Where am I going? Yuracho? It's like some area that's like, it's too central. So now we're on Aoyamadori. This is also a very famous boulevard, and the wonderful Gaiandori and the baseball stadiums and the Olympic stadiums we're passing on the left, and there's Royal Residence right here on the left. I think I'm gonna go right here. I'm not totally sure where I'm going, but I think I need to go that way next. It sounds like shit. Once she's up to speed, she's fine. But I think I should go this way and then right again, yeah. There's a cool old danchi right here. These are typically like not right here in the middle of the city. I mean, yeah, I guess not in this part. This is a relic from another time. This building over here on my right. This little thing that says number 6 on it. It might be the last standing affordable housing sort of nuclear family apartment that was built in the 60s to, create the Japanese, success story. It was a great honor to live in one of these danchis and, have the latest appliances and have this kind of nuclear life. There's an honor in it somehow. Like, you're not part of the, I don't know how to put it. There's Roppongi Hills. Yeah, and I don't know if this thing is still... Yeah, there's people living there for sure. I better get there. This is further than I thought. Ooh, beautiful 9/11. Ooh, yellow. The other problem that I'm going to face is this is a very famous samurai, this residence. He was I forget his name, but he committed seppuku. He disemboweled himself or I think he begged his lord, who was the emperor or some sort of daimyo, to allow it. He thought he was he was so honorific. He was so noble that when he made the slightest, he led some army and he lost too many men. According to him, and he thought he deserved to impale himself with his samurai sword, and the Lord begged him not to because he was so loyal and noble, so he shamefully lived for another couple years until he begged to off himself again for disgracing the family, and the daimyo said, no, you're too important of a person. Over here is Tokyo Midtown, Ritz-Carlton, Fujifilm, and we're rolling up on Roppongi Dori here, and I have no idea where I am. I mean, I know where I am, but I have no idea where this building is from here. Maybe one of you guys can ESP me the coordinates. Where is it? I kind of know. It's that way. So I mentioned this on another stream, but right over here, right over there to the right, to my right, is a really, really cool jazz bar called Alfie's. And I just was hanging out there a few nights ago, visiting my friend Eric, who played a live show. And lo and behold, who showed up at the live show? At this really cool jazz bar, but Chris Robinson of the Black Crowes, which was very, very cool. And he just came as a guest and was sitting in the audience right next to me, and at one point he got on stage and did a number, which was very, very cool. And it was a great time. And then we came over here and had soba at this place. It was very good soba, actually. We gotta get there. I'm gonna be late. Man. We're gonna be rolling up here on, there goes Roppongi Dori. We're gonna be rolling up here on Tokyo Tower momentarily. This is an entertainment district called Roppongi. You might have heard about it. There's Tokyo Tower in the foreground, if you can see, or in the background, I guess, ahead of us. Okay, I'm getting close. This is the new tallest building in Japan, I think, actually. It's called, what's it called? I forgot what it's called. It's not very tall, actually. It's only like 60 stories because you can't build 100-story buildings in Japan because of earthquakes. And speaking of earthquakes, there was a big earthquake in Tohoku. You guys overseas got more news about it than I did, actually. You made it, I got a lot of people wrote to me and said like, hey, are you okay? I heard about the big earthquake. I said, oh, thank you so much. And maybe I'm living under a rock a little bit, but I didn't hear anything. I didn't feel it. And I did catch a bit of the news, but it doesn't seem to be blowing up anywhere. Where is this place? This is not really my stuff. There it is, over there. I see it. Okay, wait, maybe I go this way. Maybe, that's it over there. I think. Oh no, this is maybe the wrong way. This is a very new area. All of these apartments and buildings are new. And it's very posh part of town. I mean, I wouldn't want to live here, I don't think. It wouldn't be bad, but it's like, there's no parks, there's no like rivers. It's very, I mean, I'm saying as I'm rolling up on a park right here. I mean, it's pretty, the people who are living here are, I think their companies are generally paying for them to live here. Is that it? That's not it, is it? Maybe it's that one over there. That's not it. There's a bunch of embassies around here. What's that place? Yeah, I mean, it's always new. It's just like, it's always new. That's the cool thing about Tokyo. It's just like always new. The Okura Hotel. Fuck, I'm lost. This is like we're right in the dead, there it is over there, dead center of Tokyo. But once we get over there, then I have to find a place to park, and parking for motorcycles can be a bitch. And you're often like parking in questionable places. This is where all the embassies are. That's the Okura Hotel, very famous, really ritzy hotel. And residence too. I'm going to that building. That's it for sure. Yeah, that's definitely it. And now I gotta find motorcycle parking. Whoa, I don't want to come up this hill again. Is there a bike parking? Oh, possibly. No. Maybe I can park in the building. That's definitely it. Look at that fucking crazy thing. Can I go? I have a funny story of this little area right here. In fact, it might have been this very corner. I was skipping school, skipping class. I was ditching work. I was playing hooky. And let me see if I can. Hold on, we gotta find some parking. Station tower, no entry. We gotta find a guy parking there. Car parking, bicycle. Hold on, maybe. Motorcycles, yay. Okay, I think I might have to sign off. It might go, the audio might go shit, or the stream might go off. So I'll say goodbye to you guys now. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time. Bye. Yeah, like and subscribe and leave a comment if you watched it. I'd love to know who watched it. It'd be cool. Okay. Oh shit, I gotta get out of here. That's not gonna be fun. That's a giant hill. Oh, whoops. Okay. Peace out.